When you go elsewhere to teach, how do you choose what it is you're going to be sharing? Does the host generally give you an idea? And do you notice one thing I'm really interested in, and as a traveling teacher, sometimes teaching people in a different area of the world is different cultures, different areas. How do you teach people differently? Because being that we're JKD Kali people underneath Guru, we're taught to be culturally, I'm going to use the word sensitive. It's the wrong word, but at least to have some cultural respect in
Mm.
there. And it's one of the things I think that makes that family of martial artists such good damn teachers, though, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, okay, so the first part of your question was how do I select the material? So, usually, what I do, I sort of select a list of things I want to teach or
Mm-hmm.
that I'm working on or I can share with them. And at the same time, I ask them, what do they want me to cover? So, I go where I want to go, or is there something specific you want to see, or you have some questions? And so we work that way, right? So, sometimes the goal of a seminar could be like, it's an introduction, like
Mm-hmm.
so you expose people that never done anything. Some people just show up, right? And then other time or at the same time, it can be further their education. So they already know a good amount of material, but how can we can further that, develop that, or fill the blanks? Like sometimes there is a gap in between things. It's okay, can I help you? Maybe does that make more sense? It can be kickboxing, it can be Kali. So I try to work that way. So I've always bring a good amount of material. It can be like different martial art or lecture, things like that, and then I go, so we work together where we want to go, and hopefully we hit the middle. Because sometimes we have different levels, right? Like,
Oh,
especially, for example, I went to France to teach. We had people maybe like 90% from karate background, never done Kali in their life, right?
mm-hmm.
So now you have to kind of like start a little bit. This is a different place to start, right?
Yeah.
So you adjust that way. But the fact that I've come prepared and then I can adapt to what they want, I think we can kind of like build it together, right? Now, to adapt culturally, that's a great point because it's not the same. It really isn't the same, and I learned it with the years. You have to be a little bit like there is a student is a friend of mine. He's also trains with me. He's a student of mine, but he's also a very good instructor, the guru Joey Morana, and he starts the seminars with that sentence. He always starts the seminar. Listen, guys, if you don't want to be treated like a stranger, don't act like a stranger, right? And so that's something when he said that, I was like, that's cool. Because when I go, especially in the early days, if you think about it, it's a real premise, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go to a country to see someone sometime that I never even met, and I'm going to come to you guys and we're all going to train together and we're not even from the same culture. It can go many ways, right? Sometimes it can be even tense if you think about it, right? It's not that easy to walk to someone else's house and be immediately comfortable and for the relationship to flourish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you learn now, you learn how to be a little bit more. So you basically you lower your expectation, you don't put your lens on everything. You just kind of go a little bit more with curiosity, right? Like, okay, let me see what this is about. Let me take this all in and not right away make too many judgments. Because I can give you so many examples of, sometimes there is just differences. And in the beginning it can look like you can take something as rude from someone else. Like I give you a silly example, but I went to teach in Poland, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm teaching the seminar, and I think this the first day went by, and everybody's kind of like, I think first of all we entered and we had like I think it was about 60 attendees, but they lined them up. Everybody's one line, right? And as we walked in, he felt, I mean, seriously, he felt like we were like in the Russian bloc, like under the Soviet. It wasn't on the Soviet Union anymore, but he felt that way. Everybody was very like upright, and then we came in and sort of all clap at the same time. So I was like, oh, okay. And these guys were big too, big man. I took a picture with two of the guy that they put at the door there, like sort of that like Kevlar jacket, like security people. And I'm 6 feet, but I look like a midget. I look like a little guy. And I even took a picture of how big they were. And so basically we start a seminar, one day goes in, and everybody the whole time is that sort of like that. This is how they look. the whole time, no matter what I say, no matter what I do. So I go back to, after the seminar, I talk to my assistant, Frank. I go, I don't know if it's going well. I'm not sure these guys that like it, right? And so the second day, maybe halfway in, I'm like, are you guys okay? Is this okay? Are you feeling it? And they look at me very stern. They go, we love it. I was like, oh, really? That's your face. You love it. And I was like, wow, joke's on me. And actually, to be very honest, it's just people express a different emotion different ways. And they, like I said, I mean, they were like big, like, some very square faces, but everybody had a bachelor, master, and PhD in that room. Everybody was highly educated, very friendly, very enthusiastic when you start to talk to them. So their body language was saying one thing, but when you start to know them, and I think that I learned that many ways in many different countries, everybody has just a different way to operate. So you don't want to take your lens and superimpose, just let the relationship build and get to know people. And so that took a lot of years, but to be honest, he taught me a lot of things. He taught me a lot of things about culture, about distance, how close you can be to people, how far, how to greet, how to interact, what makes a social interaction pleasant, right? And so those are very subtle things, but you can make a lot of faux pas, a lot of misses, right? You can offend people without knowing it, right? Like I remember going to Asia and it was for a different thing. We went to Cambodia, but we got briefed on how to collect money, take it with two hands, how to shake hands, how to if you go past someone older to lower yourself a little bit, and
Yeah.
you gotta be yeah, and also, for example, silly things, but proximity, how people are engaging with each other as friends, man to man, man to woman. Sometimes there are certain no. Like in Thailand, never touch someone's head. Don't put your feet in front. Like you have your feet facing someone. It's a no. Like let's say you drop a coin here, you might use your foot to stamp on it. That's an absolutely no, because there is the face of the king on the coin. So you're
Oh.
stepping on the king. You see, so what I'm saying is like small little things, the little making of those subtle things, but you gotta be a little bit subtle and careful that you don't, you navigate properly. So now what I do, I just put myself just a little bit back and observe, and try to feel the room, read the room, and then I try to interacting that way, right? So just to give you an idea to answer your question, yeah.
What I hear is listening is
Yeah.
just as important as talking, even though, I mean, obviously we're there to share information, but something being able to listen with all senses, right? And also, something you brought up numerous times was without judgment.